The world's greatest podcast in America, John Reed, Cody McClure. What's up, Cody? How's Texas?
Hey, John, how you doing? It's good to be here today. Good to be anywhere today. Texas, raining still. Kind of sucks, to be honest with you, but I'm doing good. I'm trying to look like as much of a douchebag as possible. How am I faring?
You're giving real Monster Energy drink
There we
energy.
go. Yeah, that's what I was
Yeah.
going for. So if I look like a 10 out of 10 douchebag now, I pull these off, and that brings me what to a 9.
Sure.
This is the only Stones hat that I've got, so I just wanted to put it on for a minute. I'll
Is it
go
a
back.
snapback or is it a fitted hat?
I'll go back to my regular hat now. Uh, it's a snapback. I don't know
The
why I
green.
bought this.
Yeah, I was gonna say, were you on drugs when you bought that? Were you drunk? Because the color combination doesn't say Cody McClure really.
Funny you should ask, because I actually was on drugs when I bought this,
I
and
bet that
that's
looked
probably
real cool when you were on drugs.
yeah, yeah, yeah. The flat bill, not really my look, you know.
The flat bill and the colors, yeah, real confusing for me.
Yeah, I don't know. So back to the regular old hat, but
How
I
much did that
just
hat run you?
I don't remember.
How was the Vegas show?
The show, we'll start with the show. The show was absolutely 10 out of 10. Fantastic, incredible. I wish you could have been there. I wish everyone I know in my life could have been there. It was so good. And part of the reason was because the crowd was
You
so
were on
good.
drugs?
No, actually, I wasn't on drugs at the show. I
You
was
bought the hat not at the show? Where the hell did you buy that hat? On the streets of Vegas? Is it a bootleg hat? Did you buy a counterfeit hat?
All right, so let me just. The hat was not bought over the weekend. I bought this hat a long time ago, actually, believe it or not.
Oh, okay.
I did happen to be on drugs when I bought it. But I did
Not
not
this
buy it
weekend
over
though.
the
Got it.
weekend. No, I didn't
Okay.
have enough
Okay.
money for the hat this weekend.
Okay.
So before you derailed my thought process, the show was great. Um, Part of the reason for it, and I'll tell you this: the crowd was unbelievable. And we were down on the floor this time. And so being on the floor is definitely cool in its own right. Like it just sounds louder, and but the crowd was jumping around. So the first time that I saw the Stones this on this tour, it was the first show in Houston on a Sunday night, right? Sunday night, Houston, everybody's got to go to work tomorrow. Totally different vibe than a Saturday night in Vegas. Obviously, as you know, everyone's there to party, and it was a huge, huge party the whole weekend. So Mick Jagger said it like 4 songs in. He's like, "Yeah, you're by far the loudest, rowdiest crowd we've had so far on the tour. Just amazing." And I think the band could feel it. I think they were feeding off the crowd, and
Didn't the tour just start?
well, yeah, they're only 4 shows in, but
Oh, okay. I was just gonna say I don't know how crazy of a benchmark that is to clear if it's only been 4 shows, but I'm glad you had fun. I'm glad the crowd was loud.
well, again, a Saturday night in Vegas, it's a party. The whole weekend was like a college football. Like everybody had their walking around our hotel and walking around on Fremont and everything. It was just Stones shirts everywhere. It's like a big football game when they're in town. Everybody's there for that. And
A
like
lot of leathery women
there were some leathery women. Yeah, there were also some beautiful, beautiful young women. People of all ages go
with
to the
leathery
Stones
old
show.
men.
Some of them, yeah, yeah. But people of all ages enjoy the Stones, and it was so amazing because my friends were with me, and as much as I like doing things alone, I've told you I'll do things alone. It doesn't bother me going to concerts and stuff. It's so much cooler when you're with people, like singing the words to each other, and like just everybody's having a good time. And a couple of the guys, it was their first time seeing them, so they were blown away. And they bring out, when they do Give Me Shelter, of course, they bring out Chanel Haynes, who's just a black female singer really just kicks it up for Give Me Shelter. There's so many details. I mean, you don't care, but they did Bob Dylan like a Rolling Stone live, which is very rare. Keith did 2 songs first time on the tour. The crowd went crazy. Keith did 1 song, and then he said, "Let me switch that guitar there, boys." And he got his other guitar, did a second song. So we got 19 instead of 18. It was great. It was great. I was screaming and yelling, and I don't have a voice.
Hold on. Now these guys have been around for how long?
The Stones?
Yeah, since the mid '60s.
Since 1962 was their first ever live show. 62
all these
years ago.
62 years, and their concert is only 18 songs long usually?
Well, it's 19 is the typical. It's usually 19. I mean, when they were like, at their peak, it was more. But, I mean, we're very lucky to get 19 songs at this age. Like, they do 2 hours, basically, right at 2 hours.
Okay.
I mean, the Black Crowes only do like 17. Eric Clapton does 14. I mean, 19's pretty standard. What do you think they did? 42 songs?
I mean, I don't know. I just figured they've been around since '62. They'd have a lot of songs they have to play each night.
Well, they do, and they don't get them. Like that part does suck, but that's part of seeing the Stones. Like you're not going to get
Swift. Taylor Swift did like 38 songs or whatever it was on her tour.
Okay,
hell, even Zach Bryan. Even Zach Bryan has only been doing music for like 4 years. Did 22 songs on his.
Yeah, well, just like Metallica, just like Kanye West, just like AC/DC, Taylor Swift opened for the Stones, so fuck her and fuck her little tour and all of her 38 songs. She's in her prime. What do you expect? These guys are 80 years old. They're giving us 19. That's enough. It's plenty. We'll take it.
Okay, I mean, I was just surprised. I thought they were a little bit more rock and roll than that. I guess I thought they had more hits than that. I don't know.
I'm not going to sit here and listen to you talk shit. I'm telling you, you would be blown away if you watched Mick Jagger live. It's absolutely amazing. Anyone who has seen him live knows this. He's out there it's unbelievable. He's 80 years old and he moves like
Jagger?
Jagger, It's incredible. It's an incredible show.
I'm glad you had a good time.
It was so great. How was your weekend?
My weekend was solid. I stayed in Knoxville.
Yeah, probably not as many highs and lows as my weekend.
No, I went to 2 concerts. I sang some karaoke. I went to see Planet of the Apes. All in all, pretty good weekend.
Now, Planet of the Apes, was that in the Mirror or was that at the movie theater?
I can see why your time is ticking out in Austin. That they're going to send you back home. I can see it. Tick, 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 tick. It was at the movies.
I see a little bit of a chimp vibe. Not as hairy.
A little bit of a chump vibe for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not as hairy as a chimp.
It was at the movies. It was the new Planet of the Apes movie. What else happened in Vegas? Any cool stories?
All kinds of shit.
Buy any hookers?
That's not how we say that on the podcast, okay?
Pay for anybody's company?
I did go on a couple of dates while I was in Vegas. Here, let me put it to you this way. If I won like $500 gambling and I still left with no money, if that tells you anything. So...
Well, how much money did you take?
Just for what? For gambling or for what?
Well, no, you said you left with no money. How much money did you take?
Well, my goal was to only spend... my plane was paid for, my concert ticket, my room and board was paid for. So my goal was to only spend like $400 or $500 otherwise. Well,
did you succeed?
On Thursday. Yeah. Yeah. Like that's what I spent Thursday. Luckily, we figured out a new gambling method on roulette that paid out. Everybody was winning. Everybody was staying up all weekend. It is pretty reliable. Now, you're a gambling man, so I'm sure you've heard of this, or this may be amateurish to you, but It worked to a point. I know you can't go to Vegas and trick the fucking casinos. I'm not naive, but it worked up to a point. Basically, what you do, you go to roulette, you pick either red or black, you bet one color and stick to it, and then every time it doesn't hit, you double your money. So, so if you bet $5 and it's red, then you bet 10, and then you bet 20, and then you bet 40, and
Uh-huh.
and so you're guaranteed to net, profit as long as you get your color back every now and again. Now you get on some pretty bad streaks where it'll be like 7 straight reds or something,
Right.
and then a green will reset the whole equation.
Uh-huh.
But it won me money consistently. Like for the weekend, I quit while I was ahead. I'm not saying you can go there and beat the system, but it worked for me to a point. Now, why are you laughing? Why are you laughing at
Well,
me?
I'm just curious. What was the most you had on a single roll? How many losses did you take in a row?
Well, I wasn't dealing in the same amount of money as some of the guys I was with. So
Uh-huh.
my bets were like $3, then $6, then 12, 24, 48. So I think only one time I got to like that 96 point, and I was like, because then obviously if it doesn't hit, you're done. Like it can beat you,
Yeah, yeah.
But
Well, what about your friends? What's the most they were? How much were they betting per roll?
my one guy who this was his so-called method, he was up like $1,300. I don't
How
know
much was he betting per roll, though? Is what I'm asking.
I don't know how he finished.
Well, I'm just saying if he's betting $50 a roll and doubling it and getting to 100 and 200, and all of a sudden has $1,000 on the roll, if you take 5 losses in a row, then that's when the strategy comes crashing down.
That's when it crashes, and that did happen a couple times to a couple people. I luckily came out ahead, but I was small figures. I started like with $80 cash and built it up to like $350, and then I played a little blackjack. I was up about 500, which for me is like that's good money for me. I'm
And
not
then you decide to go blow it on a date.
on a date. Yes, I went on a couple of dates. Thursday night, I had a date with a nice mixed African American / white girl, skinny, petite girl, very nice, very sweet, and we went on a nice date. And she was good company. And
What'd you guys do?
well, we talked, and we hung out in the casino, and then we went upstairs, hung out in the room for a bit, and had a couple of drinks, and you just do the things that consenting adults do for a price on a date.
How much
And
money was the date? How much did you spend?
each date cost me roughly about $200, which each date I thought I had agreed to about $160 for the date, and they managed to milk me for about an extra $40 on top of each date. Now that Thursday night I had a great date, and then got dressed up for another date Friday night with a different lady friend. She was white girl, more my speed. Thursday night a little exotic for my tastes. Friday night a little more, close to home. And both dates were very similar. I'll say very similar activity. Both very enjoyable.
How long does your date last?
A date can last anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour, depending on which activities you choose to perform during the date.
What did you guys do?
Oh, playing cards, drinking, things you'd think of doing at a casino, Nothing out of line on these dates. I'm pretty sure I Googled this about prostitution in Vegas, and apparently it's illegal. So prostitution is legal in the state of Nevada, right? But you got to go to a sanctioned whorehouse, such as the Bunny Ranch, which is why I could tell you a Bunny Ranch story of mine in great detail. However, if basically if you're in Vegas, you can't engage in prostitution if it's over something about the county has more than 700,000 people in it or something like that. Basically, it's a way to keep prostitution out of Las Vegas. But There are certain activities that still go on. Escort services, you've probably heard of these, and completely legal. Completely legal. Basically, you're just paying for a date. And, all kinds of things can happen on a date. So,
we're all paying for it one way or the other. Am I right, fellas?
yeah, I mean, you go on a date with a girl, maybe you hold hands and leave in the middle for a cheeseburger. We've talked about dates like that. Other dates, hypothetically, you go to a hotel room, she sits on your face. The guy staying in the hotel room with you is passed out in the other bed snoring, and he doesn't wake up because he's a heavy sleeper, even though this girl may or may not have peed on you. I mean, there's all kinds of things that can go on during a date. And that's what I'll say about that. But I had 2 beautiful dates, Friday and Saturday. Couldn't afford a Sunday date after the Stones show. Couldn't afford much in the airport yesterday. There were basically everything you would think that I would do in Vegas, I did. There were other things involved from time to time, party favors, this and that. I know I sound a little vague.
So what Cody is saying is you need to go and buy our new T-shirts. We are selling T-shirts, and you need to go buy it. If you like the podcast, fanrunradio.com/shop. The world's greatest podcast tee is up.
And
go buy it.
And I talked to a guy who you sell shirts with, higher up over there where you work, and he was telling me that shirt is actually the #1 seller right now on the new website, the world's greatest podcast in America. that phrase that I created, that is the #1 seller.
Hold on. Let's revisit you creating that.
I came up with it.
Are you sure about that?
I'm 100% certain of it.
Are you sure you didn't come up with the world's greatest radio show in Tennessee?
Well, yeah, but that's what it stems out of.
Yeah, but I believe I came up with the world's greatest podcast in America.
Yet again, trying to use my likeness
no,
to
hold
put
on.
money in your pocket.
Hold on. I think I came up with the world's greatest podcast in America. I believe you came up with the world's greatest radio show in Tennessee. We're not selling the world's greatest radio show in Tennessee shirts. We're selling the world's greatest podcast in America shirts.
You didn't come up with that. I came up with that.
Okay. I mean, I'm not saying with 100% certainty. I'm saying with about 80% certainty.
The world's greatest moniker was my idea from the beginning.
Okay, but this is like saying you invented a hamburger, so it's like you said you invented a hamburger, so now McDonald's and Burger King goes you. I don't think it works that way. I don't think you get spinoffs.
If this is a McDonald's hamburger situation, you're trying to be Ray Kroc right now, is what you're trying to do, and you're trying to fuck me out of what's rightfully mine, is what you're trying to do.
You're saying I'm loving it. I'm saying have it your way.
I'm an artist.
I think we're allowed to do that.
I'm an artist, and you're a record label. You're no better than Abco Records right now, trying to fuck me out of what's rightfully owed to me, and I have to be the starving artist.
I just want to be on the same page. I feel pretty confident that I came up with the world's greatest podcast in America, and paid to have the logo made. Which means I own the logo.
You paid for that?
Yeah, I just get the guy a little money for helping us out. I mean, it's not a great logo, but it's better than what you came up with.
I think I could have done that in Microsoft Paint, for being honest.
I didn't pay a lot of money for it.
I've hated that logo since the start. Was it a fan who created it?
It was not a fan.
Okay, well, it's terrible. But anyway, we'll change it eventually. We'll get this thing really rolling once we get this T-shirt money coming in. But
the key is we sell a lot of these shirts and then change the logo to something new and then resell them. That's the key.
Well, we're definitely going to need to do that. Yeah, I just want.
But it doesn't help when you put down our logo and tell people you don't like it. That's not going to make people want to go buy it.
I'm just saying, eventually we'll do a better one. But no, what I'm saying is, I talked to the higher ups over there. Is what I'm saying, and I was told that our shirt's selling very well, and that it's the number one seller so far on the merchandise shop. And I feel a little bit like, my likeness is being used here. I feel a little bit like, who was the guy? Ed. What was that guy's name? The NCAA
Talking about
guy?
the horse? Talking about the horse?
No, not Mr. Ed.
Ed O'Bannon?
Ed O'Bannon, yeah. I'm Ed O'Bannon here. I want my goddamn money. Where's my money?
Well, I told you you'll get your money once I recoup my investment in you. This is how it works. I made an investment in you of $400 and now it's up to $535 with the interest running. So like, once I recoup my money, yeah, you'll get your cut.
You've been doing this joke for so long now. You've been doing this joke for so long now. It's becoming
It's not a joke, by the way. It might be a joke to you. It sounds like I can afford 2 blowjobs and two.
Take it easy.
$200 gets you a lot in Las Vegas these days. I could get 2 blowjob dates too, and
I never said nothing about a blowjob.
Instead, I just get fucked by an overweight fat ass that took my money and stole it. That's what happens with me.
You're a real manipulator. The way you try to, it's becoming a bit insulting that you want to pretend that my value has not brought you more than $400 over the time we've known each other.
$535.
My value is
and a free car usage.
My value has been well into
Don't forget the free car usage. Don't forget the free car.
How about all these sponsors you signed that say, "Oh yeah, I love you and Cody, you and Cody."
You notice it's never "I love Cody and you." It's never that.
I didn't say that. I didn't say you
point that out.
I didn't say you don't deserve your flowers. I said I deserve a goddamn cut of this T-shirt money. Is what I said.
You'll get a cut of the T-shirt money once it bypasses $535.
I just want to make my stance clear on the T-shirt money.
Your stance is very clear.
I had a very difficult financial weekend, all right?
I can't help that you are that irresponsible. Your spending habits doesn't put more pressure on me. It's funny how everyone else gets a taste. I don't get a taste of nothing. You got a taste in the hotel room. I haven't got a taste.
I didn't taste anything.
Not to mention, I started you a GoFundMe that raised you thousands of dollars
and
that you then blew on more sex. It sounds like you got a sex problem. Why don't you just find you a nice, respectable girl instead of going out and paying thousands of dollars for sex? You've paid over $2,000 in your life for sex, and you need to stop it.
Can you stop saying that I've paid for sex? Okay. People don't need to hear that. I have a reputation to uphold in the community.
And you've already admitted what you did. You already admitted what you did with the GoFundMe money. I didn't get a taste of that. I didn't get my cut of that after I made it. Hell, I helped stage the carjacking for you to help get this whole thing rolling. I got you. We committed in. You came to me with a plan to commit insurance fraud. And I said, okay, fine.
How many crimes are you going to admit to?
I said, okay, fine. I know a couple people that can help out. We'll make it look real. We'll make it believable.
The carjacking was staged.
I helped go through and get some of my friends to do that, and you
did do that for me. You created the GoFundMe. I will say you didn't really help promote it after creation, but
that's not true at all.
We talked about it on the radio. You didn't tweet it out again or anything though, really.
I got you in line with multiple news agencies to come interview you.
You got me in line with one.
Which got you in line with the other ones because they knew like other people are doing the story, and it all kind of came around. But either way, whatever.
You were kind of part of that, yeah.
I was a big part of it. The GoFundMe doesn't happen without you. It doesn't happen without me. I don't need to take the credit.
You didn't get held at gunpoint. It was a terrifying situation.
You don't have to keep acting like that was real. Like we set that all up. You don't have to keep acting like it was some traumatizing thing.
I just want to say Houston. I remember it getting a real bump when Houston, every time he would retweet it, that seemed to really help because I think that it put it to a different audience. You know what I mean? Because I think most of the people that know you, like, at least know who I am, and so they had already been in it. But every time Houston would do it, I get like these new people. Could have used a little help from Russ too. Didn't get it.
I'm sorry your hero let you down.
Yeah. What can you do? Never
I know a lot of people.
heroes,
I know a lot of people in the Reed's Ranch Discord donated to it. So, like, I mean, you don't get those without me. So,
right?
You know, you could show a little goddamn gratitude for that. And
Yeah.
my community opening their arms to welcome you in. You could show a little appreciation for that.
I just want to be, I'd like a little bit of goddamn respect for my talent over the years and my abilities, and for people to appreciate me a little bit more sometimes.
I've given you a lot of things over the years. I can't really recount too many things you've given me.
I've given you me. I've given you myself. I've given you everything.
Not really. You just keep
my
leaving.
life.
You just keep leaving. That's all
you
do. All you do is leave.
I gave you my loyalty.
Not really. You've left twice.
You're supposed to say you make me royalty, and then it's like Kanye and Jay-Z, you know?
No. No. You're not Kanye or Jay-Z.
Well, neither are you, pal. Neither are you.
So anyways, go buy the t-shirt. I'll put the link up in the YouTube description.
Yeah, and if you happen to have clip art on your computer, maybe send in some more submissions as well. If you'd like.
Yeah, you know what? You know what? We have creative people in the audience. If anyone wants to,
right.
If anyone wants to create us a new logo, by all means, do it, and I will give you something for it.
I was really sweating it out in the Uber yesterday. I had the Uber to the airport. You know that feeling. The Sunday you're going home to Vegas, flight back. The desert's been draining you. Your lips are chapped. You're just sweating in the back of that Uber.
Man, my lips are always chapped in Vegas.
It's the dry air. I got to say, though, it was when I got out there, I was like, God damn it, this is paradise. It was like 82 degrees and sunny, palm trees. I'm like, boy, have I missed this. It's been cloudy in Austin for a month.
I always get immediately dehydrated. I hate the flight to Vegas. I hate being in there. I shit 50 times. That's why I take my own toilet paper. I stay in the bathroom in Vegas.
The dehydration makes you shit?
Yeah, it does me. It does me. I don't know if that's a normal thing or not.
I don't know. That doesn't seem like something that, I don't know.
Whenever I fly to Vegas, I literally am in the bathroom like 5 times a day.
I feel like you would shit more uncontrollably if you're too hydrated. Like a lot of diarrhea and stuff, you know?
I don't know what the science is.
Is that not how that works?
I don't know. I just know when I go to Vegas, I'm in the bathroom 5 times a day. That's why I take my own toilet paper. It's my only chance for survival.
Yeah. Here's something else that'll piss you off. We listen to a lot of Kanye West, from the Hangover type songs when we were there. Yeah.
Why would that piss me off?
Because just you'd be like, basic bitch stuff. Like,
no, that's fine. You're going to see the Rolling Stones, bro. You're already checking all the boxes of basic bitch.
My money. You don't know shit about the Stones. Wait till I'm
not a basic bitch.
My money. You're really missing out in your life, you know.
Whoa!
I want it for you. I want you to be able to experience it.
So do these girls have pimps that just waited outside the room, or what?
I didn't see any pimps, as you call them. I didn't see anything like that. One of the girls I went on a date with, who was not a prostitute, one of these girls had me watch her walk down the hallway when she left and make sure she got to the elevator. I guess she was worried about some characters. And, I don't know. It's a pretty seedy town, you know.
You should have asked what the hell you were going to do about it. You just said, "Yeah, I'll watch you." That was your chance to. You could have taken over her pimp role. You said that's the point of a pimp. It sounds like she has cut out the pimp in the process, and you cannot cut out the pimp out of the process. You need the pimp for characters like you and other seedy people that might snatch these girls up. That's her mistake. So you are entitled to a cut, or at least like a 15 to 20% discount. I don't know what kind of cut pimps have. I'd imagine some good ones only take like 20%. Maybe some take half. I don't know, but you were performing both pimp and John/Mark duties. You were entitled to some compensation there.
I'm not comfortable with any of these terms you're using. Both of the girls also turned the air off when they came in. I guess they thought our room was too cold.
They want to get a nice musk going.
I guess. I don't know, which there was one, so that was nice. And they were also both single mothers. So, yesterday was Mother's Day. Shout out to all the moms out there. I did my part this weekend. What did you do?
I can't say I did anything. I called Ma and checked in on her, but that's about it.
I called my mom yesterday from the casino floor, and I felt like a real piece of shit. Because, that's what I'm talking about, the highs and lows of the weekend.
Yeah.
It's like...
Yeah, I really, really hope that's not your mom's last Mother's Day living.
Because you always feel that... I don't know the science. I don't know if it's dopamine or serotonin or whatever the happy feelings, It's like that's what a place like Vegas, you get those happy feelings all weekend. It's like Thursday, happiness.
Friday,
happiness.
You must do Vegas a lot differently than I do. The happiness emojis are few and far between out there.
Well, for you, it's probably more about the gambling, but you get those happiness.
Pool.
The pool. Well, the pool's always a great vibe.
I go to the pool.
Yeah, beautiful.
But everything else here is waiting in line and overpaying for things. I think that's my problem. I think that's part of the reason I don't travel. It just feels like you overpay for everything. And in Vegas, you amplify that. You got to give everybody tips.
You don't have to. That's how you save a little.
I guess you probably did save quite a bit of money, but by not doing that. But I always feel obligated and give into it.
There's no place in America better at separating you from your cash. There's no doubt about it. Everywhere you turn around, it's $40. Whatever you need. But what I mean by the bursts of happiness is, you're getting these consistently to your brain all weekend. Happy. Here's alcohol. Here's a pina colada. Happy. Here's some pussy. Happy. Here's some, whatever you're into. And then like on Sunday, when you're getting ready to leave, it all comes crashing down. And you realize what a real piece of shit you are when you're calling your mother from a casino floor and she's with
maybe her last Mother's Day.
Jesus Christ. Ma's like 62. And
my dad was about that age.
Yeah, but men and women are, live a different... Women tend to live like... I'm not saying it can't happen, but like... Anyway, but she's with her mother, my grandmother, who it could be her last. She's 84. I guess, yesterday I was coming down pretty hard. Some of the anxiety, some of the depression stuff set in. But then I got to thinking, I'm planning to hopefully go home in a couple of weeks. And we'll just do Mother's Day then. Is the way I was looking at it. Maybe I go in like Memorial Day weekend or something like that. So.
How much longer are you going to keep doing the Austin thing?
Well, it's a good question. I don't know.
You just move in with her for a couple weeks and spend some time with her and your grandma.
And then what?
I don't know. Just work your way back to Tennessee.
Make my return?
Maybe.
I don't know. I don't even know if people want that at this point,
So people bought some shirts. Not enough. I will say that, yes, we are the number one selling shirt, but I will say I've been a little underwhelmed with the sales of them. Just in general. Because we sold like 40 shirts. Or we sold like 40 items, including hats. But it's been pretty spread out.
Yeah.
So yes, we are number one, but it's not a good number.
I think we need to be better at, and I'm not saying you or me. I think both of us, or I think we would benefit, or even the radio station, I think would benefit from a really good, a promotions person. Somebody that's good in that in promoting, like, just I feel like that has a big impact. Knowing
What
how
the
to
fuck do you want
promote.
me to promote these T-shirts? I wore the
I'm not
hat. I'm
blaming
wearing
you.
a shirt right now. I mean, we are looking. If you know any good young broads for football season, some marketing specialists, we are
There you
looking
go.
for some good young broads to intern with us
Yeah.
in the fall.
Now, see, this is why you're the brain power of this operation. That's what we need. We need a beautiful young marketing broad.
The problem is you can't put that out there. You can't say, "Hey, searching for a marketing intern, please be a hot broad." You can't say that.
Well, you can.
You can't. You can't.
Is that what? Is there regulations on that, or?
Yeah. That's bad.
Well, what you do is you take one of these big titted
Headshots.
college.
Headshots are required.
What you do is you take one of these big titted college age girls and you put them in that T-shirt and you tie it in the front where it's like, the midriff, the stomach is showing, and you put her near a body of water, and there's some sand, and you make sure it's a good sunny day.
So we got to find a beautiful young girl and then send her to the beach. We have to pay for a trip to her to go to the beach.
No. You keep it local down there by the lake or something.
They got sand down there at the lake.
Yeah,
I think it's just mud.
You can find a place to just make sure it's a sunny day. If you got to Photoshop some sand, you Photoshop some fucking sand. Put a palm tree there. Who gives a shit? Have like a cooler close by, like maybe like a Yeti cooler, but you're not promoting Yeti cooler, so you block out the Yeti name. It's just a cooler. Gives the person seeing the image okay, we're drinking, we're by a body of water, we're having a good time. She's beautiful, and look at this shirt she's wearing. I'll go buy this right now. And that's the logic behind it. Sex sells is what they say.
Well, last I'll say about the shirts is, well, yes, I do think we need a good young girl that can help us market. I feel even icky saying that, but I'm going to be disappointed if we don't at least like add like 5 more cells between this podcast and the next. I'm not saying that's a requirement to keep 2 shows a week going. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying I'm going to be pretty disappointed and
gonna be in a real bad mood Thursday.
Well, I don't even know if I'll be in a bad mood. It's just I can already feel my throat maybe being a little too sore to do the podcast on Thursday. I'm feeling a little sick already. I got the May flu, so
You tell me about it.
if we don't sell at least 5 over the next 3 or 4 days, I'm going to be pretty disappointed. But also, yeah, send in different logos or different designs. Like I'm not a digital artist, so when it came to building the logo, I just kind of took what I could get. So we didn't really have any ideas for that.
Yeah. Again, if you have there's an application on the computer if you have a computer maybe from the 90s, it's called Microsoft Paint. It's an application. You go on there, probably airbrush or something.
I need you to send me a picture just of your face.
Well, just screenshot this.
You're very blurry right now, and I don't know how to screenshot on computers. I need you to send me a picture of your face. Maybe we'll post our faces and like do the little cartoon and do like little outlines of our faces on the shirts. Maybe that'll be another shirt we sell.
Okay.
This guy eats ass. Pointing at you.
I'm with the ass eater. It's just an arrow.
Yeah.
Like I'm with stupid.
No, I understand. Yeah, that's what I was going for. Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Yeah. So, anyways.
Oh, I didn't even tell you about the bomb threat.
Bomb threat?
I guess it was Friday night. Me and Miles were drinking down at right across from the Heart Attack Grill, by the way, which if you're over 350 pounds, you eat for free. Have you heard of this place in Vegas?
No, I haven't. What's it called?
The Heart Attack Grill. I just said that. For years I'd heard about this place. I'd seen it on YouTube or whatnot, and it's basically all these fat people go in there and eat, and they've got a scale out front. And if you're over 350, you eat for free. I got on the scale and I'm under 350. I couldn't even eat for free. I was just fat enough to not even be able to eat at the Heart Attack Grill. 347. Can you believe that?
That's tough.
It's because I got.
That's
I
tough.
know.
You were over 350 by the time you left, but you had to pay for it. That's tough.
Yeah.
I wonder if they have like a trick weight, a trick scale that knocks off 10 pounds or so.
I don't know. Maybe.
I wonder how many people come in at 347. That might be as high as the number goes, unless you get to like 375.
Well, we were drinking across the street from there at this bar. And at some point, this guy came back, like who worked at the restaurant, and he's like, "Hey, you gotta get up. You gotta get up." We were like sitting out on the patio watching people, and he's like, "You gotta get up. You gotta go. You gotta go." We're like, "What?" And they started rushing everybody to the back of this like restaurant bar. I'm like, "What the fuck? We got an active shooter out here or something? You know? What is this? A Jason Aldean concert?" Anyway, so they put us all to the back. They bolt up the doors and like put chairs in front of the doors and shit. And I'm like, we keep asking them what's going on, and they won't tell us anything. And so a couple of people in the place start to kind of panic, which I wasn't panicking. I thought, well, you know, those doors are probably pretty strong. They're made of glass. I mean, what's the worst that could happen? And
then you heard Jason Aldean start playing, and you're like, "Uh-oh. Oh, no.
Take you for a ride on my big green tractor." Boop, 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 boop. Oh, no, it's Stephen Paddock reincarnated. That was the name of that shooter, the Mandalay Bay, if you didn't catch the reference there, folks. But anyway, so we find out from the waiter that apparently...
LOL at you, Mr. Naive, for thinking he was the shooter. You damn sheep.
It could be deeper than that. Yeah, I don't know. But we find out from the waiter that there's some sort of like bomb threat. So I got over near the window, which is where you'd want to be if a bomb went off. And I started looking down Fremont Street, and I noticed there were sirens and stuff. Like I saw some blue lights and stuff down there. And I could see a little bit of a commotion. Like there was a guy on the ground or something. But I never even looked into it. I really don't even know what happened. But eventually they opened the bar back up. We just kept drinking. So that was, you know, kind of weird. Have you ever been down there to Fremont Street, or have you always?
No, I don't. I barely even leave the casino, bro.
You always stay on the strip.
Yeah, and I pretty much stay in near the pool or in the sports book or in my room. That's pretty much what I do. Ideally, if I could be in Planet Hollywood, close to the Duke of Earl sandwich shop, I don't leave that area. I go hang out in the sports book. I eat me a sandwich. I walk around the mall to get to Panda or Chipotle, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah. You're a sad fucker, aren't you?
I know what I like.
This is a town that's really got a lot to offer, you know? I mean,
I went to see Scream last time I was there. I got out and went to the movies.
That was the line in, what was that? It was one of those dumbass movies with Zach Galifianakis. I don't even remember the name of it. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's what it was. Where his dad is the guy from Succession, you know? And he's like, "Boy, you're a sad fucker, aren't you?" In that voice. I just love that guy's voice.
That was the inspiration to Succession.
Was it Due Date? I don't remember.
I don't know. Due Date makes me think, aren't they like on a road trip out west? Or maybe they're not even in Las Vegas, or I don't know. I was just thinking of movies out west.
It might have been, it could have been The Campaign. I don't remember.
Either way. Well, you got anything else for me?
Well, yeah, I got a lot of stuff. I got to look back at my...
Well, let's hit some shit. Let's go.
I'm looking at my notes. Well, did you do anything for Mother's Day?
No, I told you. I called my ma. She was busy.
Oh, okay. Let's see. I went
to see Planet of the Apes by myself. You don't know how sad it feels to hear them say apes together strong while you're in there by yourself.
Apes together strong? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you feel real weak when you're in there by yourself.
Yeah.
You know we're doing a video broadcast, right?
Yeah, I know. I'm looking at my notes. 1 second. I'm trying to get some notes.
You couldn't be bothered to write them down?
Oh, I swam with sharks at a pool. That was neat. That was a fun thing I did. I swam with sharks. Have you? I was 1 foot tops from a shark's open mouth. Now, where else besides Las Vegas can you be 1 foot from a shark's open mouth without being in the goddamn thing? Pretty cool, isn't it?
In a cage out in the ocean.
Well, it was in a pool, but the sharks it's like an aquarium inside the pool. So there's sharks and tuna and stingrays and stuff swimming around while you're swimming in the pool.
That sounds kind of miserable.
For them?
For everybody involved. I've told you about that mini golf place that I have nightmares about still, that I played at when I was like 5, where someone got the idea to make the bunnies the obstacles of the golf course. And all that led to was people hitting the bunnies with the golf balls and just fucking them up, and some bunnies are running around with some broken legs. Their ears are falling off. They're limping around. They're sick.
That was like some small town Tennessee somewhere, wasn't it?
I mean, it was up in Pigeon Forge. It used to be on the way to Dollywood. It was called Bunny. I think it was either Bunny Land or just Bunny Golf. I think it was Bunny Land. I think now they got like a Lego themed mini golf thing right there in that spot. Very few people. Yeah, no. Like eventually, someone went crazy and broke in and killed all the rabbits with the baseball bat. The guy, there was a guy. I think it was actually the owner of it. Just went in one night and just clubbed all the rabbits to death.
He put them out of their misery
and said that he had been told by the spirits that he needed to do that.
Yeah, well, I could see that. That makes sense.
But no, if you Google it, I think it's Bunnyland Golf.
So
in Pigeon Forge, it comes up there. I tried to get in touch with somebody. Somebody made a documentary about it, and I tried to reach out to him and asked if I could find a copy of it, because very few people remember this. But I was traumatized because I remember my mother took me there one night, late at night, to play golf, and it was terrifying. The rabbits were so deformed.
So let me get this straight. They had bunny rabbits on a mini golf course.
Yeah.
And they're just walking around crippled and ill.
Yes.
Because they'd been hit by so many golf balls.
Yes.
Jesus Christ. How was this place allowed to operate?
I don't know, but they were like the obstacles, like, you know how like a mini golf will have something blocking the hole that you have to hit around.
Right.
These are just bunnies that you had to hit around. And
live bunnies.
And people, of course, are cruel and mean, and were just hitting the shit out of the ball and like breaking the rabbit's legs.
So do we think maybe the place started as just kind of a fun idea of like, hey, we're just gonna have bunnies hopping around, like, and they didn't think about the fact that people would try to hit them?
I believe so, yes.
It's kind of like when there's cats in a cafe. Like if you go into one of those real liberal cafes, coffee shop type places, they have cats in there. Kind of like that.
I think so.
But nobody's beating up the cats,
Flickr. Okay, let's see here. I'm going to hold this up to the camera. Can you see this? This is what the van used to look like that would drive around. That's already terrifying in itself right here.
Yeah, slightly. Yeah.
Bunnyland was a mini golf course in the bizarro mecca of Pigeon Forge. You putted around 50 to 75 live rabbits, hoping for a hole-in-one. The owner was somewhat of a local celebrity, claiming to have discovered a lost art form from an ancient tribe and was the subject of a documentary titled Bunnyland. You have to read the article to understand the insanity. The rabbits were killed twice, and the course is no more. Let's see here.
Bunnyland. I think I had sex there one time.
That was the bunny ranch.
This is a whole other kind of bunny ranch. This is an actual ranch with bunnies.
Yeah.
They just can't hop anymore.
No, they couldn't.
I bet some of them really couldn't hop. Like they got like one leg that's kind of, they look like Kevin Ware on the basketball court, That's got to be a tough life for a bunny that can't hop, I mean, I feel like that's their number one thing they do, isn't it? They probably lose part of their identity if they can't hop.
I think they used to have a lot of sex. Bunnies do be fucking.
Yeah, fucking like rabbits. We've heard that.
Right. Look at this picture of how creepy this is.
There's a real glare.
Well, I know. I'm sorry. This isn't perfect. Look at this picture of this giant-ass rabbit, like a statue standing behind it.
Is that rabbit in blackface?
With two little rabbits running around the course.
That's problematic on more than one level.
You are correct.
Did they have any kind of an Easter special?
I don't remember. I doubt it, but probably. I mean, I doubt it, but probably sounds stupid, but I don't know. I don't remember when I went. I don't remember what time of year it was. I assume sometime like in the spring around my birthday, because we used to go to Pigeon Forge a lot during my birthday. Like me and my brother were born 4 days apart, so we always kind of split birthdays.
Yeah. I hope maybe somebody had the idea to at least bring a doctor in there to try to look at some of those bunnies and see what was wrong with them. And then, you know, if you own the place, you could look at him and be like, well, what's up, doc?
This is funny. This person writes, this article is called 3 Places in the Smokies That You Won't Believe Are Real. And it says, finally, there's the attraction that traumatized me more than any other place as a child of the Smokies. At Bunnyland Mini Golf, rabbits were allowed to run freely around the course as living obstacles. While some have fond memories of golfing amongst live buddies, which PETA would undoubtedly take issue with today, others report less romantic memories, like dead bunnies in the water traps and shit on the greens. So I guess they had gotten to the water trap and drowned.
Yeah, couldn't hop their way out.
Some little sociopath probably held their head underwater and killed them. Shit on the course, that isn't something I really consider, but that makes sense too. A lot of poop everywhere.
That would be the least of the worst things at that place, probably, though.
And if you're thinking to yourself, it was the rampant bunny concussions from flying golf balls that ultimately forced the closure, hold on to your bunny ears. In 1994, okay, so I wouldn't even been in school. I would have been like 3 or 4. Over 80 bunnies were found mutilated and partially skinned. The massacre took place at night over a couple of months. And finally, activists stepped in and took it over and shut it down.
And rebranded it as the Lego Ranch.
No, I want to say for a while after that, but it was like Paul Bunyan. There was a big Paul Bunyan statue out there for years afterwards. And then eventually Lego came in like 10 years ago and took over. I want to say that's how it went.
I think I've seen that place then. I think I remember the Paul Bunyan statue.
Yeah, the big Paul Bunyan statue, I'm pretty sure, took over from like 96, 97 throughout the 2000s.
Now, here's an idea for a Lego-themed mini golf place. You got to do it barefooted, and all over the mini golf course they just throw random Legos down. So instead of stepping in rabbit shit, you take the risk of stepping on a Lego while you're playing mini golf. Now, how's that?
A couple of the holes you have to go in the dark too.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't get that one, but yeah.
Well, I mean,
because you step on them in the dark. Okay, I see. Yeah.
Yep.
That makes sense.
When people don't pick them up and leave them on the floor.
Does that ever happen to you? Have you ever stepped on a Lego in the dark?
I mean, I'm sure I have when I was a kid or something. I don't know though.
Not now though.
I don't have kids, so it'd be kind of creepy if I did now. I don't have any kids.
No Drake. Legos laying around.
No Drake, no Diddy. I don't. It hasn't happened to me as an adult. I don't know if it happened to me growing up or not.
Would you rather step?
But I'm sure there are plenty. I'm sure there are plenty of dads and moms out here who have done that are listening to the pod right now.
Well, I mean, really, what's worse though, stepping on a Lego at night or paralyzing one bunny? You know.
Honestly, probably just stepping on the Lego.
I can't get over the fact that the guy came in and beat them all to death.
There's a weird story about him being like saying he was possessed by Native American spirits and all this. Like he's an interesting cat.
Did anybody ask him was that true? Was he possessed by Native American spirits or?
I don't know.
How would we know?
We wouldn't.
Did I ever tell you about the Indian woman that my dad caught on his game cam or game? What do they call that? Game capture? The
trail videos out near like deer hunting, just the tree stands and all that.
Yeah, they saw a ghost of an Indian woman one time sitting cross-legged in front of the deer feeder.
Well, how do you know she was a ghost? Couldn't she just been a live woman?
Well, it was just a shadowy figure. Oh. He used to have the picture. He printed it off and kept it for some years. I don't know if he still has it, but it really did look like the silhouette of a Native American woman just sitting there by the I don't know if she was, trying because she knew there was corn there, and she was trying to get, maybe something to eat for her and her spirit family or what. But um, that's a real cheat too. By the way, to hunting, if you have some hunting land and
That's not hunting.
No, that
That's
seems to me more like you're just bringing them in to shoot them, and
Yeah, that's not hunting.
you might as well have a rabbit putt course at that point. You just want to kill animals. But
Do you believe in ghosts?
After this weekend, yeah. I saw a few ghosts in my dreams last night. No, not really though. It's not really something I get into.
I think I
really
do. It's weird because I think I do. I've never really encountered any by myself that I know of, although I got to say, I did encounter some spirits at a house I lived in.
What, vodka Sprite?
I was more of a whiskey guy back then, but no, like in the house we lived in college, an old couple had died in it peacefully, as far as I know, but like they had passed away in the house. And I swear, in the back of there, like whenever you were back there, you could, it creaked a lot. It was old, but like just sitting in certain rooms, you would get overtaken by just such a creepy feeling, as if like somebody was in there, just still like in their room, still in their chair, just kind of chilling there. And that was like very heavy, and like and I swear, like nothing ever really happened, outside of just hearing some creaking throughout the house and stuff at night, especially. But like, you actually could just feel the air get like thicker. Now, could that have been in my head? Yeah, of course, sure. But I felt it many times.
Could have been humidity. Now here,
it could have been. It could have been. But like, I had a roommate that lived there too, and he had a bedroom in the back of the house. And like one time he was out and I was in there doing some work on his computer or doing something. And I texted him, I was like, bro, is your room haunted? And he was like, no shit. Why do you say that? And I was just like, I don't know. Your room just feels weird. And he was like, I swear to God, I think that every night. And like, he just kind of started going home more, like, and just didn't like being in there. Like he left.
Now here's what I'm
not saying he left because of that, but like, he was like, when I said that to him, he was like, why do you say that?
Here's what I would ask. I would just say, did you know beforehand when you moved in about the dead couple? Because my theory would be,
I didn't know.
Well,
and I asked about my friend whose dad bought it, and I asked him like, what's the deal with the house? Like, who had it before? Had anything happened there? And he said that somebody had died there just peacefully.
My theory would be that maybe if you knew it, like the brain would just start playing tricks on you. And like,
sure,
you do get kind of succumbed by it if you like really believe it. Like, I don't know, but
I was dating a girl one time who we were watching. Are you familiar with the Amityville Horror? Are you familiar with that movie?
I've heard of it. I never watched it though.
It's basically like a house is built on Indian ground. The dad goes crazy. Basically, spirits take over his body or make him go crazy, whatever.
Yeah.
But a new one came out like in the mid 2000s with Ryan Reynolds as the crazy dad. And I remember being over at her house. It was me, her, and her little brother watching it. And at a certain point, she like starts crying and goes out to her car. So I'm like, okay, like I'll go check on her, see what the hell's going on with her. So I'm sitting there, and she's like bawling her eyes out. She was a little emotional from time to time, and just was a real sensitive girl. So I'm like, what is wrong? I was like, what's happening? Something wrong? Like, did you get a text? Like, you're something okay with your family? Like, what's going on? And I never will forget. She was like, I just don't understand how you can sit in there and watch that after all we've been through. And I'm like, what? And
all
she's
right,
like,
well, it was nice knowing you.
And she's like, my house, I was getting a little emotional thinking about it, but I was like, she's like, my house was built on an Indian burial ground growing up. And she's like, he used to have night terrors all the time. And he used to not be able to sleep in his own bed, even like through like being like 12 years old. And like, he would wake up in the middle of the night screaming and talking about how voices were telling him to kill himself and like burn the house down, do all this crazy stuff. And was talking about how like one night in particular, he woke up and had like big cuts down like the middle of his back.
This is a good
just
story.
Huge, deep scratches down the middle of his back. And was like in places that he couldn't have done that himself. And she's like, chills. I just don't. And she's like, like I said, I got chills, and like I get I get a little teary eyed thinking about because she's like bawling her eyes out telling me the story.
Yeah.
And just about like how like he was like suicidal and like, you know, like had cuts in his back. So like they kind of, she's like, and our parents never believed us. You know, our parents never believed us. We never moved, blah, blah. So like basically just talked about how the hell the kids had to go through growing up dealing with the brother.
So she's.
And like the brother's like not crazy. The brother was not like some type of lunatic. Wasn't like he got institutionalized or anybody that would like be making. I mean, he could have made that shit up, sure. Like, yeah, of course, but like he was a fairly functioning, normal person.
And this was just a girlfriend you had?
Yeah, I mean, a girl I was dating. I wouldn't call her a girlfriend, but yeah, we hung out for a couple months or whatever. We were friends.
And so then did she go to college and she major in like psychology? Is she like
honestly maybe like yes, she did go to college and she did some like behavioral studies stuff and all that, but I don't know exactly what. I mean, we didn't keep in touch really.
Right, and she's in the mental health ward now, right?
I don't know, man.
Yeah,
I don't know.
That's wild.
I've had a handful of stories. That one to me is the most dramatic. That to me is the most one that like I just saw like the fear in her face. So like that kind of makes me think that shit like that's real just because like she was convinced it was real. And that was good enough for me because she was a fairly normal person. Like she wasn't crazy. And I also had another guy call me that was like a couple years older than me, tough guy. Like he called me one night. He was like, "Hey, can you just talk to me on the phone for a little bit? I'm a little messed up." I'm like, "Okay, what's up?" He's like talking about how he's like driving past this country road, driving down this country road in McMinn County. And he's like
John Denver over here.
Yeah, but it's like, you know, I'm driving down and like I swear in this field, and you know, there's like a big field like near the neighborhood. He's like, I swear in this field I saw a ghost. He's like, I saw a boy that was like ghost white hiding behind a power line pole and like then like just like jumped and was hiding. He's like, I swear to God it was a ghost. And he's like, I drove and dropped off this girl. He's like, and I drove back by like 15 minutes later. He's like, and there was a bunch of ambulances out there because somebody like turned over their car in that field and like somebody had died like out there in that field.
Oh.
I know. He's like, I drove back by. He's like, and there's police cars and sirens and fire trucks out there and like somebody's dead.
You're good at telling these stories. It does. I am getting chills. Like I don't really believe in this stuff, but like I love the stories though.
Yeah, like I was saying, like I don't know if I believe in it, and like I've never really experienced anything outside of like, you know, like in my house that one time. But like these two people were like terrified and like legit like shook into their core.
That's crazy, man. I don't think I've ever lived anywhere that was like haunted, but I will say that when I rented out this box car, like the owner of the rail car that I'm staying in told me that like he doesn't know anything about ghosts, but he did say like every now and then you'll just see like random fires burning and that sometimes there'll just be flames that come up and like you never really know what it is, but it does happen from time to time. And
okay,
the things catch on fire.
Here I was pouring my heart out to you, telling about this trauma my friends unloaded on me, and here you go, get your little Zippo out and make a little fire down there.
Sometimes things just randomly can like kind of catch on fire, and you never know where it's coming from, but that there is a flame that burns from time to time.
That's a really good joke for anybody watching on YouTube. The podcast people don't know what the fuck's going on.
No, they don't know. That's
the
YouTube,
for the YouTube people.
Crowd.
Do you have a preference on where people watch and listen? Because I like seeing the YouTube interactions.
Well, we're never gonna get them all in one place, you know, unless we just put it out in one place. So that particular bit there was for the 22 YouTube viewers.
No. We're in the hundreds now. We're comfortably in the 180 to 220 range.
I did notice in the YouTube search now, once you search, we're in if you type world's greatest and then we're the first P, if you type P, we come up next. So I guess that's good that we're coming up in the results.
The world's greatest piccolo player is in real shambles.
World's greatest pianist ain't got it no more.
But no, I love seeing the comments. I love seeing the likes. I love seeing the subscribers. Like that gets me pretty fired up just because that's a new thing, obviously. And I don't know. I get excited when I see that because like the Spotify, I can open it up where people can send in stuff, but I don't want people commenting on there. I'd rather people be able to like do it in a public forum. And I don't know if people are scrolling and they see, you know, numbers rising and maybe getting some algorithms and gain some new fans and all that. Like, I don't know. I like it.
I didn't even know people could comment on Spotify.
You can send some listener feedback, but I think I have to ask a question and open it
Oh,
up and people can like write back. But I don't think you can just like straight up comment in there.
yeah.
But I
Well,
can do like listener interaction stuff. I just don't ever mess with it.
yeah. Well, that makes sense that you. Either way, any way anybody wants to listen to it, though, is always good. The way I see it.
The YouTube's just the hassle of getting it up and getting it ready. It takes a while for like it to get downloaded. I mean, it's really just it takes a long time for it to get downloaded and a lot of time to get uploaded on YouTube. So it is nice seeing those numbers because for a while it's like 100 people. I'm like, this is fucking dumb. Me taking this extra hour and a half, 2 hours to do this.
Right.
But if it gets to 200 and it gets comments and people commenting and liking, that makes me excited. So keep doing that. Keep subscribing, even if you don't watch on YouTube. Subscribe and give us some clicks.
Well, I think I speak for the whole audience when I say that we appreciate the effort you put into the posting of this and getting it ready to go every episode.
Wow, what a guy. How about that?
So thanks for
that. There was one more story that my Korean friend told me about. He had walked in, he had found a girl, a little kid that had drowned.
Was that
like in a pond?
Was that across the border in North Korea or?
It was in South Korea, but like he was really traumatized talking about that, and there was like a ghost, a spirit aspect surrounding that, but I can't really remember the details. But he had some little girl basically led him to like find this dead body or something crazy, like it, and he was like freaked out by it too. So like I don't really remember the details of that one, but that one was pretty scary. So like I've never experienced it, but people have. If anybody's got any good ghost stories they could put in the YouTube comments, I would appreciate that. I'll read those next episode.
We call that one Kim Jong underwater.
Also, send in some power ranking submissions for next episode. We'll get back to power ranking. Good place to end it, Cody. Good job by you.
Good episode. I'm glad we got to do this today again. This is always fun for me.
I'll see you soon, buddy.
All right. So long.
Bye-bye.